Hello, everyone. I'm talking about judging a book by its cover. This is today's episode. How we judge people by what they look like, and we judge a book by its cover. And sometimes it's right and sometimes it's wrong. But what are your thoughts? And today's guest is going to blow you away because it's exactly that. How you see him as one person, but who is he really? And what is his story? So sit back, relax, and just sit back and listen to the story. That's all I'm saying. And then weigh in. Tell us what you think. Hello, Lalo. How are you today?
How you doing?
I'm good.
I'm
I'm good.
well.
Thank you.
Thank you very
Thank you
much.
for Thank you for being here. This is I'm so excited to share your story with us on Break Fear, Find Freedom. So let's start a bit about, first of all, let's go straight into you've just come out of jail, and then we'll go from there. Tell us a bit about how you ended up there, and then let's go back into your story.
Oh man. Well, it all started back years ago when I was younger. Growing up in a pretty rough neighborhood. Grew up pretty poor. Both. I'm a son to two Mexican immigrants. Proud of it. We grew up in a tough neighborhood, and so the neighborhood over here in Oceanside, and it's there's a lot of drugs, there's a lot of violence around. Fast forward to where I am now. A few years back, 2017, I was caught up in a drug ring. My charge was conspiracy to distribute methamphetamine for the Sinaloa cartel, and it was an eye opener. I was moving drugs. I was a drug addict as well, and I went to prison for about 7 years of my life. And
Wow.
ironically enough, best thing that could have happened to me. It was the best thing that could have happened to me in the sense of who I am now, what I learned, my experiences in there, now coming out, the support system that I have now fully understood and grasped, and I cherish, with everything, like all the love that I have in me. Um, just things that I've gone through, So prison was by far probably the best thing that could have happened to me.
I love that, and I just want to. You look like I said before. You look pretty normal, with your hat, and you're doing deliveries. We'll talk about that. But when I first met you, you've got long hair, and you're full of tattoos, and you're big, and you're quite scary looking, right? Which I mean, you're not. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Like, it's easy to say like, whoa, but it's interesting to know that you actually were. Because the first thing I thought was like, whoa, you must be part of the cartels. So it's interesting that you were part of that. And how did you get involved?
So I wasn't. So like I'm 6 foot. I'm 200, almost 300 pounds. I'm pretty tall. I have most of my body is covered in tattoos. Once again, it's my story. It's a little bit about my culture, my likes, and all that. Um, but so the way it worked was I wasn't connected to the cartel per se. Like I go to a big boss or none of that. But the persons that I was affiliated with, they were connected to them. So the way that the justice system justified them giving me the charges they gave me was, oh well, since you know her and she knows them, well then you must know them. So now we're gonna connect it together. So I wasn't right under them or anything like that, but one way or another, I was affiliated in a certain sense. But it was just who I knew, It was just who I knew, and they were the heavy hitters. I was just a
Yeah,
little pawn in the chess game.
yeah, as it always is. And then I also want to go back. How did you get involved? Like, how did you start with selling meth?
Oh man, well, first of all, being broke, being poor, just like so when I was younger, um, my brothers and I, I grew up tough. My brothers grew up even more, tougher than I did. It was just our environment. Sometimes we didn't even have clothes to go to school. I remember there used to
Wow.
be a store around here called Payless Shoe Store, and that was where we got our shoes. And sometimes we didn't even have enough for that. And
Mm-hmm.
just growing up not having a lot of things. Um, so when I did end up, getting a little older and ran the streets and started making that easy money, it was like, oh wow, well it's that easy, huh? Not really paying attention to the consequences, not caring for the consequences. And well, yeah, it was just I wanted things. I wanted to survive. My relationship with my parents was a little bit rocky, so I would be in the house. I'd get kicked out, so I had to find a way to survive, a way to eat, put clothes on my back. And I'm not gonna say that I was this big timer or anything like that, because I wasn't. But I did what I had to do, and I lived somewhat comfortably for a little bit. But in that lifestyle, nothing lasts forever.
Yeah, and it's interesting. So, were you one of those people that you used while you sold, which is quite interesting. So, did you use your product, or how does it work exactly? Because I can think of all the movies that how we shown, but what's the reality?
Oh man, so the drug dealer's number one thing is don't get high off your own supply, right?
Yes, right. It's
But
exactly.
yeah, it's exactly what it was. But no, like I said, and I say it, that I was a drug addict. I was, I needed my, or I thought I needed my consumption. So that was another way how I started. Well, if I can, I have this need in my head that I want, or that I have to have. So why not sell, make some money, and then I'll be able to, in my mind, smoke for free, or you consume for free. But it never worked out that way. I got you'd get greedy and whatnot, and sometimes you lose money when you decide to go get high, go find a girl, go with buddies, and go do the stupid stuff. So it never really goes hand in hand. But with me, it was I like to consider myself a functional drug addict, because I would always, my appearance was never like, if you were to see me in the streets, you wouldn't think that I was a drug addict, because my appearance was well kept. Unless you were like my family members, they would see the weight change and like the body weight, they would know, or they would assume, which is, it's all right. But like my mom right away, my dad right away, my brothers, they knew. They seen a change in me. But you would never think that I was a drug addict. Especially the way I carry myself. I'm very polite. I'm very respectful. I'm a very friendly person, despite being a big dude and covered in tattoos and all that.
Yes, yes.
I like to treat people well.
Yes,
But
yes.
that the whole drug, it goes hand in hand. It goes hand in hand. There's very few people that you'll find that don't use their product, which is great. But that's what it was with me.
And what was the trigger? How did you start?
Consuming? Oh man, I think I was a late bloomer. I started smoking marijuana when I was, man, I want to say high school. Actually, the first person I smoked marijuana with was one of my buddies. We just buried him a couple weeks, or last week, 2 weeks ago.
Oh,
He
my
just passed away.
condolences.
Yeah, it sucks. Some of us, and he had his own demons that he was battling. He was doing a lot of alcohol and stuff. So, I'm blessed to be here, because a lot of people don't make it. Some
Yeah.
people do, some people don't. And my buddy was one of those that didn't make it. And you know what? It's just, we got to keep on moving forward. But we started off with marijuana little by little. I really didn't do too much like coke or anything like that. Meth it hit me. It just came at me in 2000, and I want to say 2007. It just, I can't really give you the first day that I tried it, but when I did, it was just rock and rolling. After that, it was something that I liked. It was, for me, it was just, the first time I tried it, I was on the go. I was getting stuff done. I felt like I was being productive in my mind. That was my reasoning. That was my justification for, oh, I'm gonna keep on doing it. I'm getting a lot of stuff done. So I started doing it more and more and more, little by little. Other things like my responsibilities. I became a father in 2012 or 2011. Excuse me. Became a father, So my responsibilities were just my priorities that were getting messed up, and still I continued using. It was this grip, this hold that it had on me, which sucked. But I know this now. I do know this now, and it just started in it. I can't give you an exact time, but I just know that when I started, it was just going.
So what happened? What was what happened? How did you get caught, and then sentenced to 7 years?
Man, I was riding a bicycle. I had parked my car in the neighborhood that I grew up in. I parked the car, and I went to my buddy's house, and I left my car right there. I grabbed his bicycle, and I'm literally going down the street on a bike, and a police officer pulls me over and starts telling me, "Hey, you have an arrest warrant." I'm like, "An arrest warrant for what?" He goes, "Well, you didn't, or you're in violation of your probation." So I should have known something was wrong, right? Because I wasn't on probation. I was good. Everything was clean. So when he said violation of probation, that doesn't make no sense. So I'm trying to go back and forth with him. You're never gonna win with the police, I'm going back and forth, and I'm trying to tell him I'm not even on probation. Long story short, they take me to the county jail. The next following day, it was like a circus. They take us to the police station, and you see the Channel 10 News, the Fox News, you see sheriffs, police department, you see FBI, just everybody's right there. So I'm over here like, what the hell is going on right now,
Yeah.
It was just, it was crazy. That was in February 28th, 2017. My life just changed. I was like, oh my God. It was just so weird for me. I never went to state prison. I did a lot of county time. I never went to state prison. So when I got caught up for this, I went to federal prison. When I got caught up for this federal indictment, it was just an eye opener. I didn't know what hit me. I was still high. I was still in my drug mentality, like I didn't do nothing, this and that. And let alone they had me on wiretaps and whatever not, Yeah.
So that must have been like, whoa. So what happened then after that? Do they take you in, or do they do a detox, or do you detox in jail? I mean, because you were obviously high and seriously addicted, right?
I mean, they don't the the system is, when it comes to like healthcare and like mental health, you want to say that they're going to help you, that they're there for you. But from my experience, my personal experience, it was nothing like that. There was no who do I need to talk to, or who can I talk to, or I'm weaning off this drug, I need some help. There was no programs or anything like that available at the time. I think now they're doing some programs now, where like some MAT programs, where they're starting to help people. But they just take you, when you get arrested, they take you to the facility that you need to go to. They make you wait like 8 hours until you get housed. And it's a pretty miserable process, one that I'm never going to go through again. God willing, never go through again. But you just got to fight it. You just got to fight it out. You're in this little tank with a bunch of other people, and if you're coming down off these drugs, or if coming off of alcohol, whatever it is, you just got to deal with it on your own and just ride it out. It's a sucky feeling.
Wow, yeah. How scary was that? It must have been a really scary place to be, and experiencing that.
It was just a lot of discomfort. With me, it's the smells. It's crazy because when you go in there, it's the smells, the smell of the facilities. When you go inside of them, it's just so, like, I hate it. I hate it so much. That makes me so uncomfortable. Like I said, I had done some county time previous to that, so I'm used to the politics. I'm used to how it runs, what to do, what not to do. I'm very my knowledge in that is pretty well. It's just the environment that you're placed in when it comes to like how they treat you, the food, the police officers, just the smell, like how I was saying. It's just that to me was just unsettling. It was horrible. Um, me being scared, that didn't come into play until a little later into my sentencing, because of certain situations that transpired, but it was just more unsettling for me.
So I'm sure you were picked on or whatever, like again, you see in the movies. I mean, I was in detention, but it's not the same thing. Okay. But I'm sure you were picked on because you're a big man, you've got tattoos. Did you have all your tattoos already or did you get some in jail?
I got a lot of them in jail. I had already some, but picked on, no, that's not really what happened to me. Those who get picked on is because they allow themselves to get picked on. Those
Yeah.
who get picked on is because they have nobody there to support them. So usually that's the people that run by themselves. Prison works. Prison works by gang affiliates. It works by your race, who you're associated with. And me myself, I was running with the Sureños, Mexican, under the Mexican mafia, and so it's an established organization already in there. So once you go in, basically it's like, hey, who are you? Who did you run with? Who do you run with? Okay, come on over here. So as soon as you get there, you already have 20, 30, 40, 50 other individuals that are in your same organization that have your back and are there for you if need be.
Wow, it's like a weird kind of community, right?
Yeah, it's exactly what it's an organization basically. It's criminal organization. It's just things that's just the way it goes. California is probably the most gang infested place in a lot of the United States. It's probably the most structured, and they call it politics. That's the way it goes.
So because of that, it was obviously your 7 years where it was, I mean, I couldn't say it's easier, but in some way it was easier than someone who wouldn't have been affiliated with the mafia, right?
I would say yes and no, yes and no, and yes, because you have support. You have, if things were to happen like riots, you have a bunch of other people there you know to have your back. And
Yes, yes.
I say no because also, like, I could be 2 days from going home and somebody tells me, "Hey, Lalo, here's a knife. Go stab that guy." Man, I'm 2 days from going home. I'm gonna catch more
Wow.
time. It's either
Yes,
you
yes,
do it,
yes.
and if you don't do it, then you're done. But the people that
Wow.
don't have anybody to answer to, well, they can just sleep all day. They can just do whatever they want, but they risk something happening to them or somebody pressuring them, and they have nobody to be there for them.
So I'm going to ask you the question, and you don't have to answer.
Okay.
Did you stab anyone in jail?
Oh,
Were
that's
you?
something
Were
that I don't
you?
answer.
Okay.
That
That was.
I will say that things happened, and you have to do what you have to do to survive. I'm blessed to be here. I'm by the grace of God, I'm here. And yeah.
So tell me a bit. Once you got, tell me what you learned, and then we'll talk about what happened when you got out. While you were in there, what did you learn? How did what? Why was it such a pivotal point in your life?
I truly understood who was there for me. I truly understood what family was. Like I said, my family, we were rocky growing up. I grew up. I'm the youngest of three boys. My parents would always be arguing. My eldest brother, he was caught up in his drug addiction, so he was doing his own thing. My other brother, he was real reserved. He kept to himself. So it was me trying to find my place in a family that was already broken. So I
Yeah.
felt real alone. And as I grew, as I grew through my incarceration, I was like, man, who's gonna be here for me, or who can I count on? Sure enough, my family never let me down. whether it was a phone call, whether it was helping me out with some pictures or some money, with allowing me to speak to my children, whatever it was. My family never let me down, and the so-called people that were there, that said they were my friends, they weren't there for me. So the best thing that I learned is who I am, what I need to do, who was there for me, what my purpose is in life, and just learning to be a good father, learning to be a good man, learning how to show more empathy towards people and everything that I've gone through. Um, that was the biggest things that I could take from prison.
Mm, mm. That's amazing, though, with that. So, and once you came out, were you ever afraid? Because you obviously because of the affiliations, and of course, you don't want to answer the questions. It's cool, okay? Because of the affiliations in jail, when you came out, were you still affiliated, and were you expected to be affiliated with those people outside, or is it a whole different thing?
No, it carries on. It carries on. There's this cliche saying called "blood in, blood out." There's even a movie called, named after it. But it's once you're in, you're in. The only way out is through a box, through you being dead.
Yeah, yeah,
So
yeah.
it's either one or the other. But I made a decision in my life to focus on what matters.
Mm, mm,
I
mm,
matter. My life matters. My future matters. My family matters. My children, my goals, my dreams. That's what I live for now. I'm not the same person that I was before, and I do see some people that still have that idea of the old me, which sucks. But hey, they're
yeah.
entitled to feel and think however they want. But that's not who I am no more. If you don't like it, hey, you're entitled to that as well. But I'm living my life. I'm living my best life, and just got to keep on pushing forward now.
I love that. I'm sure you've, because people see you as the old person. So when you come into contact, obviously, with people that you knew in your past, do you obviously still have that, like, they expect you to be the old Lalo that was the meth addict, the drug pusher, whatever you were. How do you change that perception within someone's head, or does it even matter?
Well, you can't force anybody to think a certain way, but what I learned to do was create boundaries for
Yeah.
myself, and letting people. And if the situation were to come up, and just explain it to them, hey, carnal, this is not what I do anymore. This is not who I am anymore. I lived that life. I did it. Okay, cool. But making those boundaries with certain individuals um, helped me a long way. Even with family, you make boundaries with family. There's healthy boundaries. There's all types of boundaries, and it's all for my well-being. So making these boundaries with certain people is set in stone. You let them know, this is what I want, this is what I don't want, this is what I do, this is what I don't do anymore. They can either take it, or they can cry about it, and this it is what it is.
Mm, mm, mm. And again, it goes back to a lot of self love and to self respect now, because I'm sure the Lalo in the past didn't respect himself much compared to the Lalo now, right?
Yeah, yeah. The old me was real selfish. That word selfish is something that I had to take leave. Right now, when I was in prison, I had to use it to work on myself. And then now that I'm out, I still need to work on myself a lot, but now I have my priorities and my responsibilities, so I gotta wing off of it a little bit more. But just the person that I'm nowhere near the person that I was, nowhere near
Mm,
mentally. I say that I went in as a boy and I came out as a man, mentally.
yeah, yeah.
Mentally, and just so blessed and happy to have gone through this experience. Um, and I say that people are probably going to be like, well, why do other things could have happened. You could have snapped out of it in the streets. But I say it because the life that I was living, it was bad. I could have ended up killing somebody. I could have ended up getting killed. I got stabbed in 2016. I was supposed to die. Doctor said by a mere fraction I didn't.
Wow.
There's a lot of things. There's a lot of things that play into it. Just truly blessed to be here. Just not the same person that I was before.
Mm. Yes, yes, I love that. And okay, you've stimulated my curiosity. Okay, so you were stabbed,
Yeah.
and I'm sure you were stabbed, or you might have been whatever. Surely something like that would have changed your life?
You would think that would have been the eye opener, but coming where I come from, it's like um you see a buddy over here, oh, he got shot 7 times, or he got stabbed 2 times. I got
Wow.
stabbed once, he got shot 20 times, whatever it is. It's just so normal. It's just so normal that maybe from other neighborhoods, it's like, oh my God, like he got shot or something. It's just different. The environment is different. So I was
Mm.
raised around that. I not saying it's good or anything. I'm not trying to glorify it. It was just so normal to us that, along with my drug addiction, I just either didn't care, or it just happens all the time.
Mm. Mm. And what about your family? How did they see you, your parents? How did they see you once you came out? So did they also change the way they perceived you, or were they still looking at Lalo from the past?
You know what? I think when I first came out, they were a little hesitant, because one of my biggest problems back when I was younger was I would always tell them something, but I wouldn't do it.
Mm.
I would always, oh, I'm gonna do good, I'm gonna do good, I'm gonna do good, but I never did it. I wouldn't do it. So now, coming to the person who I am now, I would tell I told them, look, I'm doing this. I went to schooling. I got some classes done. I got my GED. I did all of this. Oh,
Wow,
that's
that's
nice. That's nice. That's cool.
congratulations. That's so cool.
Thank you, thank you. So I would tell him all of this stuff, but my dad always says, "Well, I don't want you to tell me. Just show me." You know.
Yes.
So there was a couple times where it might have, to me, it sounded like, oh man, they still don't fully believe in me, which is understandable, because my track record was just messing up for a long period of time. But
Yes. Yes.
right now, I do believe right now that they don't see me like that. They see change. They see what I'm doing. Like, my actions are starting to speak. Even though I have a long way to go and a lot of fixing myself, I do believe that my actions right now are showing what I would say.
Wow, that's beautiful, because you just have to build that trust all the time, because of course the trust was broken, and that takes a long time to repair. And what about your children? Because I know you've got children. Um, how did they perceive you, or how did they accept you when you came out? Because they're pretty young.
Well, they were they were at an age where I could explain things to them, and I asked for forgiveness. I asked for forgiveness. And I would keep in contact with them, or while I was in prison as well. So they already knew, but I asked for forgiveness, and man, it's like I'm Superman to them. Um, my kids just they I don't even know how to explain it. They don't see no wrong in me with what I did, or maybe because they missed me so much, or the absence that I left in them. But it was they just accepted me for open arms. They forgave me, and we moved forward. We moved on. We moved on. We're here now, and I'm trying to teach them better. I'm trying to do better so I can show them how to be leaders and how to be more independent and stuff. But it all starts with me, so I have some work to do. I still have some work to
Yes.
do.
Yes, but it's a process like everything, right? But now
Yeah.
you're doing such good work. You out in the community. So tell me a bit about what you're doing now.
Lived experiences, a little bit about it. My brother, he started this foundation some years back, and him as well, grew up pretty tough. Like I said, both of my brothers grew up worse than I did. And my brother being the amazing man that he is, he started this foundation to help people, help our people try to do better. So it's called Lived Experiences. It's a nonprofit foundation, or dedicated to help the community. We have a food bank. We do food distributions. Is actually what I'm doing right now, and I'm parked right here in the side of the park. I'm in the middle of delivering some food, um, free food. On Tuesdays we have our mobile laundry. Proud to say that we're the only ones in San Diego that have a mobile laundry. Haven't heard of anything like that anywhere.
No.
Thursdays today actually is a youth mentoring group. My brother gets a bunch of kids and tries to teach them better. My brother also has a story to tell, and he just knows how to put his words together and shows by example. He leads by example. So this foundation that he has, it's I'm just honored and blessed to be a part of it. There's a lot of things being done in the community that should have probably been done a long time ago. And I wish I had something like this to fall back on when I was younger, because food goes a long way. Laundry goes a long way. Advice, having someone to talk to goes a long way.
Yeah.
So it's just something that I'm, real grateful and real proud to be a part of.
That's exciting. And just by the way, we have had your brother, we've had Oscar on the show a few times. So I'll have all those episodes in the description box if anyone wants to listen to them. I don't know if you have, Lalo, but yes, it's beautiful now. What's the relationship like between you and your brother? Have you gone closer? I mean, because of I'm sure it was very contentious and there was a lot of fighting or whatever when you were growing up, or not? I'm not sure. I'm just assuming.
Our relationship right now is, I believe, exactly how it should be. We're close, but he's playing that he has the role of teaching me right now. I'm trying to learn off of him. So I catch myself at times being a little rebellious, and that's things that I have to change within myself. But my he's talked the talk and he's walked the walk. So I see him as my brother. I see him as a role model. So our relationship is good. Right now, I am soaking as much knowledge as I can from him. I'm not gonna say we grew up super close that I can remember, but I love the man, and I'll do anything for him. There's nothing that I wouldn't do for him. He's an amazing man, and we're working towards our relationship being as best as ever, But we're good. We're in a good space, and grateful to be able to be there with him,
It's beautiful. So your life is just starting to unfold into beautiful things. What have you got? What else have you got planned for the future? What other visions do you have, Lalo?
Oh man, we're a huge soccer family, and my brother already he's been to 3 World Cups. My dad's been to 1 World Cup. They've traveled the world: Paris, England, Germany, Italy, all over the world, Brazil, to go watch soccer games. And it's one of my passions. I love soccer. It's one of the things that I've always said that if I didn't have soccer in my life, I think I would have gone down even a bigger hole, So I want to travel. I would like to start up maybe my own little business, go around the world with my kids, spend more time with my family. Like I said, family is everything to me now. So go meet more of my family in Mexico, support the community more, just follow my goals, try to become somebody, trying to show my kids that even though you have these trials and tribulations that you've gone through, that it is okay to get back up and hit it even harder, that you can do it. So I got a lot of things planned, and God willing, I'm gonna make it to France. I'm gonna make it to England, and I'm gonna go see those games out there.
That's
with
very
my family,
exciting.
hopefully. You know?
Oh, of course.
Yeah.
But are you going to be coaching soccer? Because I mean, you work a lot with the youth as well.
I started doing it with my son's team, but then scheduling kind of got in the way. So it's something that I will definitely be open to do. At the moment, I don't have enough on my plate, but I do have a lot on my plate, and I want to expand and hopefully that be one of the things that I do in the near future, especially
It's
with my son.
exciting. Yeah. So how old's your
Yeah.
son?
My son is 14. I have a
Wow.
14-year-old son, a 13-year-old daughter, and my other daughter is about to be 12.
Wow. They're all at
Yeah.
the teenage years. Wow, that's a
They're all
challenge
right
on
there
its
next
own,
to each other.
right?
Yeah.
Wow, what an exciting, I mean, I'm not going to say exciting, but it is. It's such a beautiful story to see how you've come out and you've become, and you're just getting better and better every day. So it just shows you that there are second chances, right? There is the opportunity for second chances. What are your thoughts about that?
Man, I believe that if you work hard enough, if you want it bad enough, you can do whatever you want. I've always considered myself to be a good person. Like my morals, my respect, like they've always been there. It's just some people don't get the opportunity to get that second chance. So if you have it, grasp it. No, like I said, grab it by the horn, grab the bull by the horns, and just take off. Just take off. So I do believe in second chances. You know, I'm a work in progress, but I believe my second chance right now. I'm taking everything that's given to me and trying to use it towards my future. You know, I'm trying. I really am trying, and I could try harder, and I will try harder. I will try harder because I'm not perfect, nowhere near, but I'll get there.
Well, it's beautiful, and no one's perfect, Lalo. We've all got our
No,
flaws.
yeah, exactly.
Well, thank you, Lalo. And I must say that, of course, I help you out with the laundry, and it's such an honor and a pleasure to work with you. I just wanted to say thank you for that, and thank you for
No,
being here.
thank you very much. I appreciate you.
And thank you for sharing your story. It's quite a story. So, and yes, I'm really sad that you're looking so normal. I would have loved to show you off the way I see you, just to show people how you can't judge a book by its cover. But
Oh,
thank you, Lalo.
it's just kind of hard with yeah. I should have worn a tank top, huh?
Thank you,
I should
Lalo.
have worn a tank top. Thank you.
Yes. You need a tank top, right?
Yeah.
Thank you. Enjoy your food distribution. Drive safe, and we'll see you soon. Thank you, everyone. This was
Thank
awesome.
you very much. Have a good
Thank
day.
you, and have a good one. Bye for now.